ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿਡਨੀ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਵਾਰਨ ਕਿਰਬੀ ਹਾਲ ਹੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਦੌਰੇ ਤੇ ਸਨ, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਭਾਰਤੀ ਸੰਸਕ੍ਰਿਤੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖੂਬ ਦਿਲਚਸਪੀ ਦਿਖਾਈ ਹੈ। ਤਾਂ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਸੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਭਾਰਤੀ ਰੀਤੀ ਰਿਵਾਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਇਕੱਠੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਭਾਰਤੀ ਸੰਸਕ੍ਰਿਤੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੀ ਹਰ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੈਮਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੈਦ ਕੀਤਾ। ਤੇ ਕੈਮਰੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੈਦ ਕੀਤੇ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਾਲ ਰੰਗਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਆਸਟ੍ਰੇਲੀਆ ਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝਾ ਕਰਨ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਉਹ ਖੁਦ ਇੱਕ ਐਗਜ਼ੀਬਿਸ਼ਨ ਆਰਗੇਨਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਵਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ 30 ਜੂਨ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਡਨੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਗਈਆਂ ਫੋਟੋਜ਼ ਦਿਖਾਣਗੇ। ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਦੱਸ ਦਈਏ ਕਿ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਵਾਰਨ ਕਿਰਬੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਫੈਸ਼ਨਲ ਫੋਟੋਗ੍ਰਾਫਰ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸਨ, ਜਿਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਿਆਸਤ ਦਾ ਰਾਹ ਚੁਣਿਆ। ਤਾਂ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਇਹ ਭਾਰਤੀ ਦੌਰਾ, ਆਓ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜ਼ੁਬਾਨੀ।
We are with Mr. Varun Kirby, Member of Legislative Assembly, Member of Australian Labor Party. Mr. Varun, tell us about your exhibition. It's going on. We are so excited to hear what's going on in that one.
Earlier this year, I had the opportunity to go to India, to visit India. It was important for me for my very first trip as a Member of Parliament to head into India. The electorate that I represent has a very high number of people who have migrated here from India. They are first generation migrants. We have some second generation migrants, but almost 25% of the electorate have chosen to make Australia their home, and it was important for me to get an understanding of what their lives were like before they came to Riverstone, why they chose Riverstone as a home, and so I headed over to India to just get a taste of what it was like living there. And while I was there, my previous career was as a commercial photographer. So I took my camera gear with me, and I decided that I would do an exhibition of some of the sights that I saw, some of my experiences, so I could share that with the people back home.
Oh, okay, that sounds good. So when it's happening and where is it? Like, yeah.
So June 30 at the Ponds Community Centre, it will be the show will be on. We will be opening that with a bit of a cocktail party. We're inviting people to come along. We haven't quite nailed down what the pricing will be on that yet, but what we will do is have a lot of people just come in. They'll be able to see images. They'll be able to purchase some of the images if they choose to do so. But I'm hoping it'll be a really great night, a really engaging night. I'm hoping to be able to both bring people who have lived in India, to give them a chance to reminisce of what their lives were like before, but I'm also hoping to bring people who have never been to India before a chance to be able to see what the streets of India were like through my eyes.
So can you tell us, like, what's the timing of that one? Like, do we need to go and buy our tickets for that one, or it's free for everybody? Like, how it works?
So it's at this stage we're still in the planning phase of exactly how it's going to work. It's likely that we will have the day of the 30th. We'll have the exhibition open, possibly free or maybe a donation entry to come in during the day, and then at night time, probably starting around about 5:30, 6 o'clock, we'll have a more formal cocktail party that will be a purchased entry. Ticket price will be somewhere around the $30 a ticket to come into visit it, and we'll have some formal speeches and a little bit more of an intimate cocktail party type arrangement.
Do you get any volunteer help for that one? You are thinking of, like, if anybody wants as a volunteer to help you in this exhibition?
Yeah, so I've approached a couple of local businesses about catering options for this night. It's quite important to me to have somebody who is a local business be involved. I'm definitely going to be reaching out for volunteers to come and help with the pack up, with the setup, and also with on the night itself to be, serving people, carrying trays around, things like that. Of course, I have labour volunteers that I can call on, but yeah, more than happy to have other people put their hand up and say, hey, I'd love to be involved.
Just do some of this one. So basically, in your experience with the photographs you have captured, like, as being a professional photographer, how you feel like that? How's your experience?
India is in many ways indescribable. There is the old adage of a picture tells 1,000 words. What I really tried to do was balance my photography between astonishing examples of architecture, of historical buildings that you can find nowhere else in the world, some which have an indication of the origins in India and that have spread out through Southeast Asia. I've been fortunate enough to visit Angkor Wat, and there are some of the Jain temples in particular that I visited. There are a lot of similarities between the two. But balancing between the architecture and the stories that those buildings tell to street scenes, people whose day-to-day lives, and to see what their lives are like, see the kinds of activities they get up to. So I paid particular attention to looking at all the different facets of life. One of the things that really struck me, and there's two images I think that I'm going to put side by side. India is a place where there is extraordinary infrastructure growth, and there's a newfound sense of pride within the people on the street. And at the same time, there are people who are experiencing desperate poverty and a way of life that's quite unusual for people in Australia to understand. And the two images, there's an image of an overhead rail being put in, and you can see it's a great example of this rapid pace infrastructure build undergoing. On the very same day as I took that image, I also got an image of a rickshaw with a cow in the back of it.
Yeah.
So there is this incredible dichotomy between the extremes of India, and hopefully I'll be able to showcase that.
In the exhibition, we mentioned this is in the Ponds, 30th of June. So how many people you are expecting to visit there?
Well, the room that I've hired for the exhibition has a capacity of around about 250 people. So I will be promoting it quite heavily through my social channels and sending out some invites to people that I know who might be interested in coming. If it looks like we're going to get a lot more than that, then what we might do is break it into sessions where you can book a ticket for an hour or so, and so we can stagger the amount of people that come through. It will be a good problem to have if more than that apply, and we'll be able, and that's why I'm being a little bit fluid with the start time and the end time, because if we go for the target of around about 250 people and we reach that, I'll be very, very happy.